Talking Riverside boys basketball here with Josh and Niska, and assistant coach with the program for Coach Morgan. And Josh, let's talk a little bit about the program itself, all the positives here in 2017-18.
Yeah, the biggest positive from the coaching end is seeing the kids and how they bond with one another and are genuinely friends with one another. They hang out together after practice and after school, and they're not just teammates, they're friends.
Your relationship with Coach Morgan as a player, now as an assistant coach, and you guys are kind of growing.
Yeah, Coach Morgan and I, we've been through a lot together. He was my 6th grade teacher. He was my high school basketball coach. We now work together as teachers, and I'm his assistant coach. And one of the best parts about our coaching relationship is how much respect we have for one another. And I always say it's almost as if we have 2 head coaches during our varsity games, and we work well with one another. And thankfully, he's not too proud to not give me the responsibility of stepping up and coaching with him.
You saw a little bit more of the old school Coach Morgan back in the playing days, and these guys are seeing a little different version. Nonetheless, there's just a lot of teaching from Coach Morgan. Talk a little bit about his message to the kids on a daily basis.
Well, being that we both are teachers, we're instructors at our core. So, we're very deliberate with the instructional aspect of the game. We're always teaching fundamentals, always teaching, spacing and timing, and there's a lot of, a mental part of the game that we're going over, not just the physical part of the game.
Talent-wise this year, let's talk about this group. A lot of younger talent. You have a nice mix of players on the court.
I think we have a good mix. We have some seniors who are starting and contributing, along with 1 freshman and 2 sophomores who are contributing in the varsity games.
As far as the outlook the rest of the way, it's sure a 1 game at a time approach. So talk about some of the teams you play in the league and trying to match up against them.
Yeah, we break the season down into different portions, and we're very happy to be finished with the first portion of our season, which was our exhibition schedule, because we played some of the better teams in the area, and at times it could be demoralizing not having a lot of success. But we knew that if we weathered that part of the season, that going into our league, we'd be prepared. And we started the Division 2-0, and we're really looking forward to maintaining that success for the next couple weeks.
Coach, keep plugging away. Glad to see you coaching with Mike Morgan, and great to see you here at Arcaro and Genell.
All right, thank you for having us.
Evan Karuba joining us from the Riverside boys basketball team here on the Mendola show. And Evan, let's talk about what you bring to the floor there at Riverside.
I try to bring a lot of leadership, because varsity player for the past 3 years now, and just like to set an example for the younger kids, underclassmen.
Let's talk about some of those underclassmen. How many guys are contributing right now, and who are they?
We got a lot of underclassmen. Michael Antonacci, he's a sophomore. He played a lot as a freshman last year, and Razan Reyes, he's also very, very talented sophomore. Very talented. And Michael Ricker, he's a freshman. He's stepping up big this year, helping us out a lot.
You're also a golfer. How serious are you about that sport?
I like golf a lot. I really do, and pretty serious about it.
Math, one of your favorite subjects in school. What do you enjoy about that?
I don't know. I just like numbers and stuff. I'm a big math guy.
Let's talk about some of the role models in your life.
One of my role models, especially in sports, is Jalen Hurts. He's quarterback for Alabama, and they're my favorite college football team. And he's been my guy the past 2 years. And I mean, he got benched in the halftime of the national championship game, but that freshman quarterback came in and he scored. And first one out there to congratulate him was Jalen Hurts. And I don't know, I really take that as a part of me to be a good leader on and off the floor. And also my parents, my mom Mari and my dad Corey, and especially coaches, Coach Morgan, Coach Niska. They're Riverside basketball, and I'm very pleased for them to be my coaches.
Well, Evan, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best the rest of this year, and keep going, and good job on the fast start.
Thank you.
Braden Thiel with us from the Riverside boys basketball team here on the John Mendola Show. Braden, you're a senior, so tell us about your role on the floor.
Well, to start off the season, I came off the bench. I was really just like a spark plug to get things going. If we were down, anything. I started my last game, and that's really all. Just a spark plug.
Well, being a spark plug, getting that energy out there for the guys. How about some steadies on the team? Talk about some guys that every game you can say, hey, this guy's really doing the job there for the Vikings.
Well, always Evan Karuba. He's always putting up a lot of points. He had 19 in his last 2 games. We have Michael Rickert. He's one of our shooters. Razan Reyes. He's always our scorer too. He's big down low. He hit those post fades.
You're a football player as well, so tell us a little bit about what you enjoyed about the game of football.
There's really nothing you can't love about football. It's just an intense sport, so much bonding with the guys. You're down there pretty much all day after school, working out, everything to get better. The season didn't go too well this year, but we all had fun. It was amazing.
You're the oldest sibling, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some kids looking up to you in the family. Talk a little bit about them.
They're great. They support me a lot. My 2 smallest brothers, 4 and 2, they love watching me. They come to my games. They're always shooting hoops after, always at home too. My sister, she's 14. She's really supportive of me, always helped me out.
As far as math and science, a couple subjects you enjoy, is it because you're pretty darn good at them?
I'm pretty good at math. I like math so much. I decided that I'm going to college for real estate and marketing, and I want to make that a career.
Sounds like a great opportunity and a big ceiling with that possibility. Old Forge, playing them, and then probably most teams. I'm sure you just kind of enjoy lacing them up every night.
Yeah. Old Forge is always fun to play. They've always been our biggest rival from when anybody could think of. It's always an intense game, but we just always come out thinking every team's our rival to get out and pound it down their throats.
Braden, we hope you continue to be that spark plug there at Riverside this season, and we appreciate your time and the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Michael Antonacci joining us from the Riverside Vikings basketball team. And Michael, let's talk about what is expected of you out there on the floor.
Well, expected of me is to be like the primary ball handler, handle the ball, set up my teammates for all the open shots they can get.
How about your shot? How much have you worked on that this year?
I worked on it a lot over the summer. Probably one of the hardest workers on our team that we have.
Well, I know your cousin's got that outside shot down, that's for sure.
Yeah,
How about
I'm trying to be like her.
Yeah, she's been pretty good. She's really had a nice career there at Riverside. Let's talk overall about the young guys and contributions on the court, because we've talked to some of the seniors and their leadership, what they're trying to do. How about some of the younger guys?
Well, we got Razan Reyes and Michael Rickert. We're all pretty close. We've been playing each other a lot, so like when we're on the court, we all know where we're going to be, where we're at, what we know need to do.
Not only you have a family in the basketball team, you got a family at home and a pretty big one. So talk about the siblings.
Well, I have a brother, Nico. He's kind of like me, athlete, plays all sports. My sister the same way. Morgan, she's 14. And my other sister, Gia, she's like that too. All sports, all athletes.
Really good in the classroom, ranked around 12th, 97 average. You like science, so tell us about that.
Well, my mom's a science teacher at Marywood, so it kind of just falls where she is. I really like that.
Well, apple doesn't fall far from the tree there. And let's talk about your parents overall, as far as inspiring you academically, athletically.
Yeah, they pushed me. My dad was a football and a basketball and baseball player, so he kind of pushes me, helps me out where to go. My mom's a teacher, so with grades and all that, she tries to help me out.
Michael, overall, let's talk about the coaches and them correcting mistakes, watching film, growing as a team this year.
Yeah, they're working really hard all the time, yelling at us, telling us what to do. They all know what they're talking about, so we just got to listen.
Michael, we wish you the best here during the season. We're into January, so go get them.
Right, thank you.
Jason Holman joining us from the Riverside boys basketball team here on the John Mendola Show. And Jason, let's talk about what you're doing this year for the Vikings.
Right now I'm coming off the bench. I was starting earlier in the season, but just like shots weren't falling early. I mean, it was really a team struggle, so we tried some different rotations out. Right now I'm coming off the bench though, and I'm really I'm starting to shoot a lot better now. I just come in, get some rebounds, push the ball off the floor for them, set some good screens.
Close-knit group overall. Talk about being a Viking. What's it like?
I mean, everyone really knows each other and everything like that. We all hang out pretty much. I know pretty much everyone in my grade and everything like that. I talk to all of them. Pretty close-knit.
Golf and baseball, a couple sports you enjoy, and talk about, do you have a favorite?
Basketball is probably my favorite, but probably I like baseball probably second. I played like all my years of high school and since like Little League and all that, so I've always had fun.
How about position on the baseball field?
I play first base, but they wanted me to pitch a little bit. I haven't really pitched, but I mean, I'm pretty good at it.
Math, one of those subjects you enjoy. You're doing real well in the classroom. Talk about, what is it about math?
I don't know. It's just I've always been really good with numbers. I mean, I'm good with language arts and stuff, but it just doesn't really come to me as easily as math. It's just something I've always been really good at, so I like it.
And that's going to be your next step, in mathematics field. So close to home, far away, and tell us a little bit about why you're thinking math.
I'm thinking math because like my cousin does something with math, and she has a pretty good job and all that with a big company down near Philly. I'm thinking about I think I might stay close to home. I'm not really sure yet. There's a couple different schools I'm looking at.
What is it about playing Old Forge that you'll always cherish and say, hey, whether we won or lost, it's a great rivalry?
It's just always one of those like close game. Always comes down to a few plays. Doesn't matter how good either team is. It's just always close game, good game, high intensity.
Well, Jason, we wish you the best of luck going forward. Keep up the good grades with math, okay?
Thank you.
Michael Ricker joining us. He is a freshman for Riverside. Michael, what's it like playing varsity sports as a freshman?
I like it. I'm glad I get the opportunity to play at like such a young age, and I'm just trying to do like whatever I could to like just to kind of fit my role and help the team out.
Let's talk about the baseball, another sport you like. You any good at that?
Yeah, I like baseball. I've played it like ever since I was just at a really young age, and it's always been a passion.
You have a younger brother, Mason. Tell us a little bit about him.
He plays basketball and baseball too, and I always try to like coach him up and make sure that he's gonna like be ready to play once he gets at that age.
You're a math guy. It seems like that's a trend at Riverside. You have a 96 average. What do you enjoy about that subject?
It's just always kind of been my favorite subject since I was at a young age. It always kind of came easier than everything else in school.
Tell us about your parents.
They've always set a good example for me and always helped me out throughout my whole life and taught me. My dad's always taught me about sports and always been there to help me. My mom's just always been there for me.
How about some of these seniors this year? How have they welcomed you in as a Viking?
They've been really helpful and supportive. They've really like allowed me to get used to the system with the team, and they're just really supportive overall.
Michael, keep up the good work and keep going, and glad you're hitting the floor there as a freshman.
Thank you.
Roseanne Reyes joining us here on the John Mendola Show as we talk Riverside boys basketball. And Roseanne, let's talk a little bit about your role on the team.
Coming up as a sophomore, just try to contribute as much as I can to the team and, try to help the team out, do whatever I can, play any roles that I need to play, and I just like to win, really.
Football guy as well. What do you like about that sport?
I just love the sport, really. I love the contact. It's good to balance it with basketball. Next year, I'm looking forward to it, coming up as a junior. I didn't play last year, but I'm looking forward to it.
How about in the classroom? You're doing a nice job carrying a 93 average. What subjects do you enjoy?
I like science, really. I like history, too, language arts. I really like anything. If I just focus on it, then I'll like it, really.
Some of your role models, you wrote your grandma, so tell us a little bit about her.
She's really strong. She's taken care of me my whole life, and she's been through a lot, and she's still holding strong, and I just look up to her for that.
What kind of a cook is grandma?
She loves to cook. She's a great cook. She cooks the Spanish food all the time. It's so good. Yeah, she's just great.
What's your go-to dish? You say, hey, Grandma, I need this, Friday before the game or on the weekend. You're really looking forward to something. What's your favorite dish from your grandmother?
Probably the roast con pollo she makes. It's good. It's just so good.
Great to hear. How about fitting in here with the Vikings of Riverside? You're a sophomore. Obviously, some of these seniors have to kind of teach you the ropes a little bit. What's that been like for you?
I love my team. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I grew up with most of the kids on the team, so you know we all have that bond right now, and it just keeps getting stronger.
Well, keep working hard. We wish you the best this season, and glad to hear your story.
Thank you.